guys, welcome back to the channel. So we're traveling, we got places to go, things to do. So this is a bit of work, a little bit of work, and I'm gonna try to fuse a little bit of play into it. But I am heading to Atlanta for a keynote. So you guys, we've never done this before. So you're gonna get some nuggets, you're gonna get some key business takeaways, and you're gonna get some fun. So I'm headed to the TSP conference, and I'm doing a bit of a different talk. It's not a marketing talk, it's more of how you can turn your pain and your emotions and your frustration into profit. So yay. You ready to go? Ready to go? Let's go. So one of the benefits of living in like a suburb-ish city is that you don't have to deal with all the hustle and bustle of like a New York or DC. But you can get to New York or DC like that via either the interstate very quickly or the airport. I love a slow airport. Richmond has the slowest airport, international airport. So let's go get something to eat because I'm hungry. Okay, so just touched down in Atlanta and the most hilarious thing happened. So I'm leaving off the plane and the flight attendant, she's like, "Are you a housewife of Atlanta?" And I'm like, "What?" I said, "You cannot pay me for that level of toxicity. No, clean energy only." Welcome to Atlanta, y'all. All right, y'all, so just got into the room. I'm gonna give you a little room tour. So traveling, it can be a lot. It can be a lot on the body. It can just be a lot on the mind, especially nowadays, y'all, like all the stuff that's just happening with the flight industry. But the thing about it is I'm determined not to live my life in fear. I'm a firm believer that your day is numbered anyway. Like your name is already written in the book. The only effect or the only control that you actually do have over any of this stuff called life is the quality. The effort that you put into the actual quality of your days, because you can't change your day. I say all that to say, ain't no need to be afraid of flying, y'all. Live your life, go your places. When the Lord done with you, he just be done. And he ain't through with me yet, so. I got many, many, many more decades left in me, baby. So just want to give you a quick OOTD. This is my travel look. I'm very comfy, but also chic. I feel like it's been a lost art of like putting yourself together wherever you go. Like, and this is not judgment. Y'all know that. Y'all already know this channel, but y'all also know I freely speak my mind. So, I noticed like we just stop putting ourselves together just because we're traveling. It's like the cute jogger, put a cute jogger on, put a cute, And so not that you have to, but it is an observation. I'm just noticing a lot of sweats, a lot of just whatever, As for me, I have always grown up with women who actually call it art to adorn, to put ourselves together, not for external validation, because that's never it. It's more so visual vocabulary that originates from the inside. And this is the audacity that I have because of the joy that lives on the inside to be able to share a small part of it externally. So this is more rooted and grown from the inside than it is, the compliments are cute and they're nice and overall unnecessary, but this is just who I be, and this is what I call art and creativity. It's putting myself together, honey. I have fun with the hair, have fun with the lips, the looks. I does it all. And on another tangent, I heard, I just been getting just some, like, you be hearing side-eye rumblings. You just get side-eye rumblings, right? So, child, you didn't change your hair again. Very young. You must be going through something. I'm gonna tell you something. A, refrain judgment. B, I am going through something. I have grown more this year than I have ever grown. You could never take me back to last year or an older version of myself. the version of me right now, honey, I'll take her all day long. And that version of me also knows that life is not about it or, it's an and. Okay, so I can rock the short hair and the long hair. I can rock the blonde and the black. I can do it all. And I'm noticing the older I get, I'm 42 just for reference. The older I'm getting, I notice that is not as welcomed. When you got the 22-year-olds out here with bust downs one day and then booty braids the next, and no one says anything, right? But for some reason, when you get 40 plus, you're just supposed to be in a box. You're just not supposed to experiment with your style. You're not supposed to create different looks. I will be doing this until I'm 103. Let me just tell you, okay? I'll be rocking the wig one day, with the fedora the next day, and the hair wrap the next day, with the lashes the next day, and all the looks. I'm every woman. And that has nothing to do with going through something. That has everything to do with knowing who you truly are and not being afraid to be all of you. Not a version of you or a slim chunk of you, but all of you, honey. So that's why I got all these, honey. Okay, I ain't even give y'all the OOTD. I'm just running my mouth. You want to see it? Here you go. Y'all, I've had this River Island little frock forever. She is one of my very comfy travel frocks. She's been to Mykonos. She's been to all kinds of different markets. So it's just a little jacket. It's a little cotton gauze jacket with a little cute little brown fringe on it. And then I have these little shorts, this paper bag waist shorts. And it has this really nice belt. But my button closure is she's weary. She's tired and she's weary. So sometimes it'll look like I'm walking around with my crotch open like that, but that I just try to make my belt like that. But sometimes I look down and she just you say you zip it down. No, it ain't down. It's just she's just weary and tired from having so many years of wear. But it's such a good quality piece. This isn't one that you just throw away. If anything, I can just replace that. Real good length on the shorts. Oh, look, a gloss. Put my hand in my pockets and I got a Kaleido Kiss gloss. This is Majesty. I don't know if y'all know about Kaleido Kiss, but let me just share with you. Okay, so this is holographic, our new holographic gloss. It is everything. Hold on. Look at that. Pretty. All right, so Majesty is like pinkish rose gold. It's sickening. I'll give you a swatch. I'm gonna spread it out for you. That's what, so pretty. But she's going back in my packet. So rocking that. I got a little crop top on. I forget where this came from. This is just a basic. I'm rocking the Sassy Jones African 14K collection. And actually, I did the African choker, which is very, very light. You know, TSA, you ain't gotta take no jewelry off, nothing like that. But it's beautiful to travel because you don't even know it's there. And then I'm rocking it with the 14K Babar earrings, the crystal studs, very cute. My check-in lady was like, what'd she say? She said, did you go to Africa to get that piece? I said, no, girl. I said, but I have built dormitories in Africa, but I designed this stuff. She was like, what? I said, yes. Look up Sassy Jones. You would love it. You would absolutely love it. It really brings me a lot of joy to run into people who have not heard of Sassy Jones, because I will forever be an evangelist. And it's like I get to share it all over again. So it just never gets old. It never gets old. What's over here? Okay. I'm rocking my day date, my tennis bracelet, and then this was a Father's Day collection, so this is not on the site, but Jackson, Jude, my twin boys, we did a capsule collection for Father's Day, and these are men's bracelets, but because they were so good, I have two. Nothing strangely on the opposite wrist, and yeah, that's the OOTD. I'm hungry. Let's find something to eat. You've got to get out of your comfort zone. Kick the fear in the teeth and just do it. Otherwise, you just leave where you are right now. Building a brand is simply defining defining your customer's experience. A culture is how you are changing your consumers' lives. We have a responsibility to build not only a culture, but legacy. Welcome to the stage, Sassy, for 2024, like for every entrepreneur, we were telling the whole ecosystem that you will not break my soul. Am I the only one? No. Listen, I feel like definitely 2024 tried to take all of us out. Took me through the ringer for sure. I am certainly no exception. And I just want to acknowledge this beautiful coffee stain on my dress, because we are going to call it fashion. I caught an accident backstage like 5 minutes ago, and she's still cute, and very much is. I remember sitting in this room, in the very chairs just like you. Man, that first year coming to TSP, I had no idea what I was doing in business. Any of us ever feel like that? Yeah. It's just like, where am I? What am I supposed to do? But I came. And let me tell you, that ticket, at that point in my career, was a stretch for me. The ticket was legit fake, just to even be here, right? But I sat in the seat, listening to Mike McAlpin. I will never forget it. And when I tell you, I sobbed, because I felt like I was heard, like there was a community that existed for me, and that I found a way forward. That pain that I felt was so deep in my system, and quite honestly, still deal with some version of that doubt, even today. But I have been able to define a formula, and I got a cheat code for you. I've been able to define a formula where you are able to take your pain and turn it into power and profit. Y'all ready for that? Let's go. All right? How many moms we got out there? Yeah, Mom. All right? Listen, don't ever let the children be an excuse. It's such the motivator, and it's been the motivator in my life. I started this brand. This year we celebrate 12 years in business, baby. Right? And I actually jump-started it after having the twins. And listen, I remember the night that I learned that it was actually twins. I was actually pregnant with triplets, so I am a multiplier, right? But ended up with the twins. And all throughout my career, they've been a big part of my motivation. And so honored to be a mother, and a mother in the world of business. I also have the distinct pleasure of working with my husband. Okay. So this accessory, this jewelry brand, Sassy Jones, I started with my minivan, and I started it also in my kitchen. I drove this minivan everywhere in the US and sold jewelry out the back of my trunk. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine what that desperation must be like, right? This is 6 months when my boys were just born. They were in the minivan, legs kicking. We were driving Florida, Orlando, New York, wherever we could be, just to have some sort of presence at the trade shows, to show up like a real authentic brand. When you look around in your business ecosystem, you're gonna hear all things about funding. You're gonna hear all things about pitching. You're gonna hear about how you need investors, right? I just want to be the unicorn example for you that it absolutely can be done without that, okay? The other thing, an incredibly lean team. I'm so proud to say this, and with AI and all of the beauty, with that amount of revenue, we now employ only 17 people. Okay? So head count, dear darling, is not your flex in 2025 and beyond. Your flex is your processes, your system, and the amount of technology that you are investing in. Okay? It's no longer impressive to say, and I've been in big groups. How many people you got? We got 150. Good for you. That's so beautiful for you. Sounds like a really big headache, right? And I'm just gonna tell the truth and shame the devil my entire time with you. All right? However, I prefer to invest. I am the CEO, the entrepreneur, the founder, who prefers to invest in system and processes. People are important and we're all incredibly necessary. But you gotta understand, not that change is coming, change is here, right? And you've got to be poised and positioned to harness and capitalize on that. And lastly, I'm self-taught. I dropped out of Hampton University, right? They still claim me though as a graduate. But I totally dropped out. Taught myself how to design jewelry, which is the superpower, which is the funnel through which all of this revenue was made. How many of you feel like sometimes the rug is going to be pulled from under you? We don't want to admit it, right? Because we want to be motivated and taught how to make $5 million. But the reality of the psychology that happens in an entrepreneur's mind, if we are to be honest, and today is all about vulnerability, is we do deal with, oh my gosh, I feel like the sky's gonna fall. Perfect here, right? Right? Whether you're willing to admit it or not. Some of us don't know how we're gonna make it tomorrow, next week, next month, let alone will we still be here next year. We're so close in this group. We have celebrated funerals together. We have celebrated weddings together. We have vacation together. This year we're going to Egypt together. Okay? Yes, very nice. So the experience is very much offline, not just online. Okay? But when I was first starting out, I was doing what everyone else was doing. I was buying and selling wholesale. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go on AliExpress. Y'all know about AliExpress? Okay. I'm gonna go on AliExpress and I'm going to find jewelry to mark up and sell. And so I did and made a goddamn a lot of money just like that. Okay. Then I had, for all intents and purposes, we're gonna call her. No, we ain't gonna call her nothing. We're gonna call her by her real name. Her name is Keisha. Okay. Keisha emailed with a client experience concern. I refused to give her a refund. She got aggressive. Keisha from New York, Brooklyn to be exact. I don't know why I messed with Keisha, y'all. I have no idea. She said to me, that's all right. You ain't gotta give me a refund, but I know where you're gonna get your stuff from. I actually have the exact vendor where you get all of your little earrings and all that kind of stuff from and mark them up. And I am going to DM every single VIP customer the links to where they can get it from cheaper at cost. I said, woo! I said, now why would a hater do something like that? Okay? And you know what I told her? I said, Keisha, I said, go for it. I said, you know what? I'm big and bad. Go for it. And do you know what Keisha from Brooklyn did? She went for it. Okay? She said, in every single person's DM, Sharice is a fraud. And because her word at that point had weight with me, I felt like a fraud. Was I doing anything wrong? The answer is no. And you don't be doing nothing wrong, but all this stuff be in your head, right? It be up here. No validity to it at all whatsoever. She continued on a berating rage rampage for 45 days. Keisha did not come to play. She continued to DM them over and over and over, and all the while I'm losing sales and sales and sales, but they're posting in the group earrings and earrings and earrings that they did not get from me. Okay?
Embarrassment, I felt like a fraud. Frustration and shame, the pain. She actually did not get the response that she thought she was going to get. They replied to her, "Why are you trying to drag her like this? Right? Why are you doing this to her?" Built up enough no like and trust factor to the point where she didn't win, but I was still mad. Big mad, right? So we have those two things multiplied. Now we're gonna add some relentless action. I'm in my head like, I don't wanna be found out like this. I don't wanna be found out so easily. But I had all of these dreams and these ideations and these ideas swirling in my head. They were keeping me awake at night with my creativity. So I'm like, instead of buying things from AliExpress, why don't I just create my own thing? Right? Created my very first piece. Her name is Makemba. That piece, if it was not for Keisha, and we thank it, let's just give a round of applause. If it was not for Keisha from Brooklyn, New York, Keisha would always be there. That necklace went on to gross $1 million by herself. By herself. So we thank Keisha. We thank her, right? And because I was frustrated into where I needed to be in my next move, I created and started to design, which landed me on HSN. How would I have ever been on HSN if I was still buying earrings from AliExpress?
That's good.
Right? How you turn the pain and reframe it into power and profit. And as soon as I got successful, shout out to New Money, oh my God. As soon as I got successful, I decided to expand. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna start a clothing line. Because it makes all of the sense in the world, right? You have this one thing that is doing epically amazing, but for whatever reason, it's not enough. All the consultants signed off. This makes good sense on paper. The cheat code is, sometimes what you're already doing, instead of having 7 and 8 businesses, what you're already doing is enough. And if you just put more energy and deepen that, it can be your everything. We were not innately created to be doing 9 and 10 things. Although we feel and say that it is cute, you cannot do 9 and 10 things well. Pick 1, 2, or 3, right? So let me tell you my tragedy, which is now actually a blessing. I spent $1 million just on the fashion show. Rented a train station, Amtrak. Shut it down, 14,000 square foot. Had the models set up like mannequins that had QR codes around their necks so that people can actually purchase right on the spot. A DJ, an African band, everybody was there. Yeah, everybody. Over 500 women flown in from every corner of the world, present. At the end of that big, magnanimous event, how many of y'all got Shopify? Who got Shopify folks at? Shopify? Okay. I'm pulling down on Shopify. You know how you pull down to refresh? And I'm pulling. And I'm pulling. And because we're brothers and sisters, I'm gonna go deep and open up revenue with you. We released one SKU, a necklace, her name was Fairy Dust, and grossed $183,000 in 4 hours, okay? Exhibit A, hold it. Exhibit B, that night, after all of the highs, I'm pulling down on Shopify. Shopify said 40K. For someone's business, that is amazing. But the point here is for you to compare the aggregate. You got one SKU and made 183K. And you do a whole line, we'll just say 50 SKUs, and made 40K? The math ain't math. No, baby. Okay? The proof was in the pudding then. But just like a marriage or a relationship, you're like, I'm here. I'm gonna fight. I'm a windmill. I'm here. I'm gonna make it work. Ego. Ego. This went on for 3 years. Everyone around me, no, stop it, please stop. I'm like, pride. It wasn't until I began to love myself differently and detach my worth from results, right? Extensive healing, extensive therapy, because this is the place where your decisions are made from. So how can we be making strategic decisions when there is lack of emotional clarity? You're always going to be in a rebuilding phase. So that was my unstoppable action. And return back to my true love, which is accessories. And let's just do one last one. The year is today. This first picture, I told you we now employ, as of this year, right now, 17 people. This was my shipping department alone, by itself, okay? Thinking I needed all of these people, all of these things to make my dream a reality. And I wasn't careful because I was also treating them like family. That's the biggest mistake that Black people make when we're leading businesses. When you treat your team like family, you breed children. Do you understand? Because there's something in us that likes to be needed and needs to be needed and likes to be the one to answer the questions and likes to wear the superwoman or the superman cape, and you don't know that it's actually feeding your inadequacy, which is the only reason you're in entrepreneurship. Right? But you don't know that until you dig up underneath the hood and identify what that pain actually is. It'll cause you to do some crazy stuff. Lean into what it is that you're feeling. Understand what it is trying to teach you. Because your $1 million pivot is on the other side of that emotional clarity. So what if I told you that your emotions weren't distractions or divine indicators? Not roadblocks, but road signs. I actually speak to my fear. Whether I am in a car or I need to be out loud and audible and go to the bathroom. I close my eyes and I say, you know what? Fear, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for attending today's party. I am going to send you home though. Because A, you were uninvited. B, I have purpose associated with this next task. And even though my knees are trembling, and even though my voice may be shaking, and even though I am afraid on the inside, the assignment is far greater than the energy that you are trying to subtract. So I'm going to send you away. Don't be afraid to speak to your emotions. Don't suppress them. Get curious, not critical. We out here mad that we mad. You know, mad that we're sad. Take time to sit still so you can prioritize your own knowing, to understand what your next move needs to be. And feel it fully, then flow for it. You know, I love this because this is exactly what Kendrick Lamar is doing right now and making millions with it. He is leaning into his hate wholeheartedly. Brilliantly, better than anyone I've ever seen do it. That is a prime example of turning your pain into power and profit. Had he suppressed it, I'm not sure that he would have had the same outcome that he's getting right now. Also, reframe the narrative. Instead of why is this happening to me, ask how is this sharpening me? How is this refining me? Lean into it. And also channel it creatively, you know? That emotion, it's tangible. Write, dance, speak, and actually emotion is energy. That's why they call it emotion. Energy in motion. You need to get it out by moving, by doing something. When you align your emotions with the outcome you desire, your business stops becoming a grind and it becomes a magnet. The CEO, the founder, the leader. It's so important that you do the work to be healed. And I'm so sorry that we don't have, and I don't have, 10 ways for you to get rich on TikTok. Or 5 ways for you to make the most amazing funnel. But there is one thing that we all have in common, and that we will always deal with. And it is our emotions. Emotion is the frequency. The results are the echo.